Greetings, brothers and sisters. Glad to be here again. Certainly glad to be here and try to get this task done. Talking about black nationalism and how we need to have black separation summit, a black nationalist separation summit. We need to have that. That's very interesting. We have not in the past talked to this degree about what we should be doing as black people at this point in the game. How we need to get rid of the white man's presence in our community. The same way you have to look at us as African people, because that's who we are. We're African. We're African people. And you and I will get nowhere with what we do. We'll get nowhere in our direction of freedom and liberation, true liberation, unless we get rid of the white man. We have to get him out of our community. This is important. I'm telling you, brothers and sisters, the answer lies right there. We need to get them out of our community. They need to go. We need to get them out of our bedroom, our house, off of our jobs. And it's been a high time, really, for us to have done that. High time for us to have done that. And what you and I have to understand is that things are not going to get any better. The white man is not just going to wake up someday and realize that he needs to free us. Brothers and sisters, the only freedom you're going to get is the freedom that you make. The only freedom you're going to get. Peace and blessing, Brother Dallah Muhammad. Assalamu alaikum, brother. Peace be unto you. So happy to have you with us. We're going over the Black Nationalist Separation Summit that we have to organize. We're taking our time so that our people can get here. We're taking our time. We're going to take our time with this tonight. We're not going to rush it. Because our lives are ours, brothers and sisters. The man is killing us, and our lives are in the balance. We got brothers and sisters running around here like they've lost their mind. And I do believe the black man has lost his mind in this book. And the white man is paying people to attack real workers that are working to eradicate black nationalism. That's what we got to do. We got to eradicate. And we got to preach it, be instant in season, out of season. When I say preach it, we need to be talking about it all the time. Talking about this situation we're in. Talking about how we're going to get out of this situation. We have to discuss it. Brothers and sisters, if we don't do it, we'll finish. If we don't do it, we'll finish. I mean, the man has already showed you what he thinks of you. He already showed you. And I don't understand why it's so hard to stand up and do what's right, stand for the truth. I don't understand that. I really don't. But I do know that if we don't do it, we're doomed. We don't do it, we're doomed. You see today Russia dropping bombs on Ukraine. Tomorrow, white people will be dropping bombs on black people, and they're trying to justify it. They're trying to justify it now. Working against sellout black organizations like O'Malley Yesatelli. O'Malley Yesatelli is an agent of the white man. And we gotta see it. You have to see it. He has done nothing within the 50 years that he's been in leadership. He has done nothing besides. How strong can it be working with these devils? In almost every press conference, they got a devil with them. How do you fight the white devil from without with white devils from within the movement? You can't do it. You can't do it. But they're doing these things to block us from everything we got going. Now, many of you are aware that we pointed out Florida as one of the states where we were pushed to start these communities. We also talked about Kansas later, how we would put up tiny houses in Kansas, put up tiny stores, put up tiny automobile garages. Everything we could do creating tiny business to make it go. And these things that we point out now, they're trying to take people in a Uhuru movement and derail us from what we're trying to do. This is a fact. This is a fact. I'm not somebody who just came on the scene a few days ago, like Tahaka and all of them. I've been on it since the 80s. Been working with the civil rights community. My grandfather worked with Mr. Loretta King. His name was Dr. Samuel Rogers, Pastor Samuel Rogers. The foreign and domestic mission feeding program is what he had. He also helped organize food for the civil rights workers and marchers. During the time that he worked with Mr. Loretta King, worked for the organization Dr. King helped form so that he could be of assistance. You have to know these things because the white man ain't going to tell you the truth. He'll make you think that those of us that just came on the scene. He knows that Khalid Muhammad organized the African American Defense League in 1986 in August. And the white man knows it. I'm telling you all something that you may not know, but the fact is that the white man already knows it. He knows these things. But if I don't tell you, you won't know. And that's his game. He want you not to know that we've been around since 1985, 86. And that's nothing new. It's nothing outstanding. You had lots of children joining the Nation of Islam out of the Baptist Church under the teaching of the Most Honorable Elijah Muhammad. That teaching, because what Farrakhan teaches is not Islam. He's not teaching that. And I have to say that because Dianetics is not from the Most Honorable Elijah Muhammad. You have to know that. You have to know it. So I've got to tell you, Elijah Muhammad called a white man the devil. Farrakhan embraces white people. Father Flager is his friend. He said his Father Flager is not a devil. Now that's against Elijah's teaching. We also know that the Most Honorable Elijah Muhammad never chose Farrakhan. He didn't like Farrakhan. He never gave him assignments. And he said he reminded him of a worm. This is common knowledge with Muslims. I'm just trying to tell you so you can know that the white man is setting people in place. And he'll sell them to you, or you'll work on them and sell them to you. And the minute that he sells them to you and you accept it, when you do that increases our situation. It turns us inside out. It weakens us. Because whether the white man is put into the philosophy of black nationalism, or you put a white man physically in black nationalism, you are literally cooling off the coffee. Where it was strong, it becomes weak. Where it was hot, it becomes cold. It becomes lukewarm. Where it used to wake you up, it eventually puts you to sleep. And so we don't want any sugar. We don't want any cream. We'll take black coffee, but we don't want any sugar, and we don't want any cream. And so we see now that the white man is using another integrated organization. I'd say that because the Nation of Islam under Farrakhan is integrated, right? Joshua Farrakhan's son, married a devil. There were other Muslims that married a devil. All you got to do is go and look. I'm not telling you anything that any Muslim doesn't know. So all you got to do is go and look. And so many black Muslims that were marrying these white devils, wearing man tan, putting on these wigs and changing their, wearing contacts in their eyes. There were so many Muslims that were doing it until Farrakhan himself said, they asked him, because, you know, the Muslims already know what's going on, especially the media. They asked him, they said, someday will white people be allowed to join the nation? And instead of him sticking to his guns and teaching the teaching of the Most Honorable Elijah Muhammad as an agent, he had to say what America told him to say. Because they were already giving him that contract money for rehabilitating felons. They were already giving him the contract money from the Department of Corrections. You have to understand that. And how can you fight the white man when you're taking stuff from the white man? Now, if you are contracting for a job and it involves black people, or you building a house or something like that, that's different. But we don't absolutely deal with white devils. You can give me a contract. Your money's spent like all the other money, but I won't get in bed with you. I won't do that. You can put your money down on the table. As a matter of fact, I'm not going to do any work until I get paid. And then after that, I'll do the job. And after that, don't you say nothing to me. You go on your way and I go on my way. And then when you need something else done, you can come to me. But the relationship must be plain. Must be plain. You see? And ain't no such thing as sitting down and getting coffee. You want to get coffee? No. I don't want to get any coffee with you. I don't want to eat any food with you. I don't want to go to any dinner with you. All I want to do is do this job, and I'll do this job. Give me my money. I do this job, and you go on your way, and I go on mine. And that needs to be the understanding. It has to be the narrative. But the white man goes out of his way to destroy this narrative. He does it. It's very tricky. He's a tricky beast. And he goes out of his way to put out a narrative. And when he puts a narrative out, there's always a narrative in his favor. Now, with that being said, Omar Yesucelli is an agent, and I'm going to put that down there. I'm going to put it down there. And rather, his name is O'Malley Yesucelli. But he's an agent. He's an agent. And he's been working with the government for some 50 years. Some 50 years. He's done nothing. He hasn't made any threats. He's no threat to the government. He hasn't created any real program for black people, because when the white man is there, the program ceases to be black. And he has white people in his organization in position. So how can he be on your side and be on the white man's side too? Being a black man. So it lets you know that he's the white man's dog, and he's in the white man's doghouse. And when you're the white man's dog, the scraps that the white man give you, whatever he gives you, you're gonna eat it, because he got you in that house, and you're his dog. So he feeds you what he wanna feed you. Isn't that right? Right? You heard the young people say we gotta eat, right? Is that what they say in the entertainment industry? That we gotta eat? In the rap industry, we gotta eat? So they're gonna do whatever it takes to get that money. You understand me? I know you understand what I'm saying. And every place in his organization, he has white people. In his organization, he has white people. You can't do that. There's no way for you to fight the white man with the white man. Nah, the white man is setting you up. The white man is setting you up. Now, he hasn't done anything. This will be his stand. And it's a stand that they created, because he sold out when he started. As a matter of fact, he bought in by selling out. You understand what I'm saying? And so, brothers and sisters, we have to be careful to watch this. Our job is separation. We need to have a separation summit, a black nationalist separation summit. That's what our job is. That's what our job is. And we can't be dealing with these sellouts. We can't be dealing with these sellouts. You know, on Facebook, I called him a sellout, called somebody a sellout, and they wrote me up for a penalty, asked me if I wanted to take it back. I said, no, I don't want to take it back. I don't want to take it back. I don't want to take it back. Because I already know. I know that he's a trap. I know he's an agent. And I know that the white man in this date is never going to put a black man in front of you. He's never going to cover the story of a black man unless he's running that black man. Don't forget to thumbs up, like, and subscribe, brothers and sisters. We really need your help and participation in this. And so, I want you to understand what's going on, because I'm going to explain it all to you. It makes so much sense. The whole purpose is to stop the nationalist movement. They'll do it on whatever level. They'll lie, they'll cheat, they'll steal. And I'm gonna drum it up for you so you'll know. So you know, this is a place. I did, brother. I did, and I want to talk about that. I wanted Sister Ava Muhammad. The brothers asked about. Did we hear about? This is greetings, brother Witherspoons. First of all, I want to give you the greetings. Salam alaikum. And I do want to talk about that. I want to discuss that because it's very important. The timing of it is very important, and I do want to discuss that. And I want you to think of I want you to come up with the question, because I think that's fair. I think it's fair. I want you to come up with a statement that we can answer a question to, the parts that you would like to discuss more keenly than the incident itself. And then we talk about the incident. That way we set a foundation. But I did hear about it. Yes, I did. Yes, I did. And yes, we're going to talk about that, because if you remember, brother, I talked before how they was trying to get everybody out of the way. Now, you know that anybody knows this, that I was very fond of Sister Ava Muhammad. And during the time of Dr. Khalid, that we were very instrumental in supporting her. All real Muslim, Elijah Muslims. And you have to say that. Because when you go to talk about Farrakhan Muslims, see, you get into the area of the CIA and FBI. And it is very important. See, I'm glad you brought it up. I was going to say it later in the show. But see, and that's the thing, brothers. That's the thing. You know, here's the thing, is that they want to stop the truth. And I'm going to build a foundation so that you will know. I'm going to build a foundation. Now I want you to look at the series of incidents. What happened to our sister and who they were building up at the time that she was taken. And yes, I do believe she was poisoned. You took the words right out of my mouth. You took it right out of my mouth. Right out of my mouth. And it's very, very important. This is so important. Because the white man, this is how he operates. I try to tell brothers and sisters, that's why I'm on here the entire time. Now they were building up. I want you to go back. If you go back to July, you can look at this on the YouTube or anywhere else. They started building up Yeshatelli last year. They started building him up. But if you go to July, you'll see where they're directly building him up, and they give him this false alignment with Russia. Who the hell is Yeshatelli, and what has he really done? Brothers and sisters, he hadn't done anything. He's not even instrumental. He teaches socialism. Now, you name me one African continent that is purely socialist without the white man's involvement. You name one continent, one country that's African, that's purely social without the white man's involvement. Even here in America, the Democratic Party and the blacks in the Democratic Party, they align themselves with socialism, but it's the white man's philosophy. It's the white man's philosophy. You got to know that. So you already know it, because I spend my time studying this stuff. I'm not just, that's why I'm able to give you history. And we talk about it. You're helping me teach it. This is a show for everybody. And we're going to talk about Sister Ava. We're going to talk about that. And we're going to run it. I tell you what I want to do. I want to run it after this show. But we're gonna talk about it during the show, and we're gonna run it tomorrow. Run it tomorrow ahead of the regular show. We're gonna run it, and probably run it, I imagine, somewhere around 12 o'clock. So I ask that you all get the information out. But we're definitely going to talk about it on this show because we're talking about black nationalist separation convention, a black nationalist separation summit. And we got to have that. We got to have it. Omar Yeshiteli, brothers and sisters, is a devil's dog. He's a demon. He has no power, but he's a demon. The white man can use him. The white man can use him. And this is the reason why we had to go on and cover that story. We had to. We didn't have a choice because we already know what the man is doing. Anybody with any sense knows what the white man is doing. All you got to do is open your eyes. All you got to do is open your eyes. If you look at his movement, he has white people everywhere. Now here you are, you're fighting the administration. So you say. And you got white people there with you. When have you known anyone that is able to deliver black people with the help of white people? And I mean, you look at these black people, they are literally fools. You can go back, brothers and sisters, if you go back to February, they were putting everything in the way that it is. Now, and that's even with the death and timing. And you all know that I taught the same thing when Brother Malcolm's daughter was killed. Because she was killed. And we have to call it what it was. And when they killed Sister Malika, Minister Malcolm's daughter, they were also releasing, I'm sorry, brothers and sisters, was trying to find that information. They were also releasing the killers of Minister Malcolm out of the prison. And I want you to understand that. And I put it out. All you got to do is check the show where I put it out. Now, Farrakhan who's a key agent for the federal government, has an understanding with the federal government on this annihilation of Minister Malcolm X to make him the heir apparent. If you look at Jesse Jackson, they did the same thing, very same thing with Dr. King. Our brother said also the gays. That's true. Brother Derek. That's true. And so they're pushing this hardcore agenda. It's a hardcore agenda to make this stuff a reality. That's what the devil does. He lies and he bag his lies up with liars. Bag it up with liars. See? And our sister, and I put it in there, the link that you can go to. Now they supposed to have bus into Omar Yeshiteli's whatever you want to call it, his headquarters. What black nationalist is going to have headquarters in plain sight? Plain sight. We learn, right? Isn't that right, brothers and sisters? We learned from Brother Hampton what could happen when you put something that important in plain sight. You never see the white man's headquarters, his war headquarters, in plain sight. You don't see it. You never see it. Is that right? You never see it. And we have to learn from the enemy. There were mistakes made that cost people their lives. We've got to learn so that we don't make those mistakes again. Now we've been blessed with internet and all of these things. We have to use it to our advantage. Our headquarters could be anywhere now. And we have to use it to our advantage. Taharka Bey, his main purpose was to find out where everybody congregated. Now Taharka Bey is on his way out. You watch what I tell you, brothers and sisters. That was his whole purpose. And that's why I couldn't validate him on anything. and I never would. The whole thing in the black nationalist community, and we had to be patient while we did it. The whole thing with Taharka Bey was to set up to get him to do a show on me so we could expose him. And here's the thing: his own people were pushing out the information, letting me know what was going on. His own people. God always has a ram in the bush, brothers and sisters. God works that way. That's the way that God works. And if it's evil, it won't last. It only has a certain season, but it won't last. But when it's sent out, it's so that you and I can understand what's going on. What I want you to understand is that they're trying to destroy the black nationalist movement. They're trying to destroy the revolutionary movement of black people. And they'll lie to try to defame them. Now, there are some of them that is true. There are some questions there. I agree. But their option and motive is to take the people that they put in place, right, all the agents, and lump them in with the other people so that they can make them all look bad. And that way, you can't tell the good person from the bad person. You can't do it. And that's what the white man wants you to think in terms of what's good and what's bad. What's good and what's good for him and what's bad for him. Because you have to understand that you're in bondage. So when you say a good white man and a bad white man, that doesn't exist. This is bondage talk. This is bondage talk. Because there's no such thing as a good white man. There's no such thing as a good devil. The devil is bad. Satan is bad. He's not good. There's no good Satan and bad Satan. Satan is bad. You see, it's either evil or good. But there's no such thing as a good evil and a bad evil. That doesn't exist. Only in the mind of the oppressed. Only in the mind of the oppressed. And so, brothers and sisters, when we look at what's going on, the foundation is being set. These devils are in trouble. Look, the war in Russia, with Russia against Ukraine, right? Vladimir Putin is trying to destroy a satellite of America that had been planted in Russia. That had been planted in Russia. You don't have the real Russian is not in Ukraine. The real Russian is in the places where Russia is sanctioned as a ruling power, as a ruling class. The Ukraine really doesn't exist. Only in ideology does Ukraine exist. Other than that, it doesn't exist. They're not real Russians. This is a satellite for America. And America is worried because they can't fight war with them and then also fight a war with us. They can't do it. And the nationalist community is growing at such a rate that they have to do something to destroy it. And this you have to understand. You got to understand it. If you don't understand anything else, you got to understand that. Their purpose is to distort the truth and to destroy us. That's their purpose. And they'll destroy their own agents while they try to destroy us. They put them in place to destroy them, to get to us, to be able to destroy us. And I know that's crazy. That's the way the white man works. It's all or nothing with him. He don't even trust the black people that he has in charge to mislead other black people. He don't trust them. Proof of which, if you look at the men, with all due respect, that shot Minister Malcolm, here they are shooting blanks far enough away from him that it wouldn't kill him. If the only way a blank can kill you is that it's right up on you. But they didn't even trust the ones that they gave the weapons to shoot Minister Malcolm. They didn't even trust them, so they didn't put real bullets in the weapons. When Minister Malcolm is killed, he's shot from the ceiling by federal agents, and also Muslim marksmen that are working with the federal agents that put bullets down within the chest of Minister Malcolm at a downward angle. And there's no way you can do that from the floor. So you have to understand how this government works. They don't even trust the coons that they have in power. They don't even trust the black coons that they have in power. They don't even trust them. So, brothers and sisters, the groundwork is being laid. Now, we're gonna talk about the distortion of a power, and then we're gonna talk about Sister Ava Muhammad. Why? What is the purpose of getting Sister Ava out of the way? What is the purpose of getting her out of the way? The same reason they wanted to get Reverend Cleage out of the way, Aaron B. Cleage. Now, she was an attorney who debated Sister Ava Muhammad. An attorney, brothers and sisters, who debated, and you got to understand this, the American government. You understand this, you're getting it. She was a different kind of Muslim, or is a different kind of Muslim. Let's use that term, vernacular. I'm sorry. And her purpose was more than just a religious purpose. The sister has a conscience. Now, I want you to look. Sister Ava was born 1951. I want you to pay attention to this. Because if you pay attention to this, you'll understand the mindset of where I'm going with this. She was born in 1951. Now, the mentality of an individual born during that time and seeing black business already, not just in the Muslim community, but also in the nationalist community, because there were black nationalists under Garveyites, right? There were black religious community, right? Strict religious community, and you had black folk gospel community for all intents and purposes that preached all of those things about nationalism. So let's bring out some names. You had E.C. Morris, National Baptist Convention. Elijah Muhammad's father worked for E.C. Morris under the National Baptist Convention, because all of them came together to form what is known as a National Baptist Convention under E.C. Morris, which comes out of Helena, Arkansas. Comes right out of Helena, Arkansas, brothers and sisters. And the second place of the convention, Middle District, comes out of a place called Millere, Arkansas. And so these places helped form the National Baptist Convention and put Baptist churches all over the world. Now, they had a Garveyite style of teaching. Marcus Garvey didn't come up with that. The black slaves teaching liberation came up with that. Garvey was able to get in front of it with his intelligence. So you have to understand that what's going on. So you got E.C. Morris. You got Elijah Muhammad's father, right? Reverend Poole, who's pushing the same type of teaching. Marcus Garvey jumps on the bandwagon with this type of teaching. We educated him and organized him on this kind of teaching. He jumped in the front of it and then added liberation as a physical mechanism to it. You have to understand that. This is very important. Now, with that being said, Elijah Muhammad came out of the Baptist church teaching this kind of philosophy. You have to understand that. Because if you don't understand that, you don't understand the Most Honorable Elijah Muhammad. This is the reason why he said a good Christian is a good Muslim is a good Christian. Also, in 1901, you had Charles Mason. Charles Mason helped form Church of God in Christ, which comes from the National Baptist Convention. Comes out of the National Baptist Convention. He himself was educated at Arkansas Baptist College, which is in Little Rock, Arkansas. See, I want you to understand how Atlanta, Arkansas, Alabama, Mississippi, Texas, how they all work together. It's no accident. It's no mistake. It's no accident or no mistake. These brothers and sisters were organized, and irregardless of their religions and their religious goals, their objective was the same. The mental objective was the same. And this is very important for you to understand. And this sister came up in 1951. She was born in 1951. You have to understand that. All right? And not only understand it, but appreciate it. Now I'm about to give you another name. I'm about to give you another name and I'm about to connect them. Now, Dr. Khalid Muhammad was born in 1948. He's coming up in the South seeing the very same community. So you got one seeing the very same community, right, in the South. You got another that's seeing the very same community in the North. Both are influenced by the teachings of the Most Honorable Elijah Muhammad. Both are given position under Minister Farrakhan, Khalid Muhammad, as national spokesman and representative of the Nation of Islam, the third of his kind. Sister Ava Muhammad, the second of her kind, to be made as the national spokesperson, female for the Minister Farrakhan, but teaching the philosophy of the Most Honorable Elijah Muhammad. And I want you to understand that we have to set the groundwork so there can be some understanding for what's going on. And to have this mindset, this Mohammedan mindset, a full gospel type of mindset with all the ingredients, because they never made any difference whether Muslims or Christians were, because all of them would attend each other's religious services. All of them would attend each other's holy days. And you got to understand that. And so now, speaking with that, you had a foundation that was set. This foundation that was set with these new ingredients, younger people with greater minds, such as Sister Ava and Dr. Khaled, were able to touch the lives of people in the 70s and the 80s with the same teaching of the Most Honorable Elijah Muhammad. Because both of them came into the teachings of the Most Honorable Elijah Muhammad. Farrakhan was a catalyst of continuation. He was a catalyst for continuation, though his teachings changed. Because he was not teaching L. Ron Hubbard in that time. He was teaching Elijah Muhammad. But he adopted L. Ron Hubbard and brought that in. I want you to understand this, because the whole purpose was to get rid of the teachings of the Most Honorable Elijah Muhammad and get rid of religious black nationalist teachings. You have to understand that. So that means for the Christian as well as the Muslim, they were trying to destroy the ultimate objective, which is liberation. See, that's the ultimate objective. Liberation. What's happening in our time? There are those of us that were trained by these leaders, right? Trained by these, and they're trying to what? Destroy the foundation that was a continuation. They're trying to destroy the foundation that was set. And the way they do that is try to bring distrust, to bring upheaval. That's what the white man is. He's a confusion maker. And the Bible tells you, right? The Quran tells you that Shaitan is the author of confusion. Isn't that right? And that's what he did in order to destroy it. He's going to always destroy something that is foundational and something constant. He's going to always destroy it. Now let's get on Sister Ava, because I want to definitely talk about this. Because a lot of people don't really understand, especially those that are coming to the latter form of I would say religious leadership and black nationalism. Now, I want you to understand. That 4 months ago, and you can search this for yourself. You can search this for yourself. 4 months ago, Sister Ava shared part of a conversation with Minister Farrakhan concerning Will and Jada. This is very important because she takes a step at identifying one of the problems that we're facing with the entertainment industry. This is very important. This is very, very important. Because when black people begin to discuss what's wrong with the fabric of us as a people and in the entertainment industry, and to have the influence, somebody influential to do that at no gain for themselves, this is treading on dangerous territory. Because if that person, you could be in a world and that person will say, hey, I disagree with this individual, I disagree with what they'll have going on, I disagree with how they're being used. And if you can do that and provide an answer to those that are being misused, then you have the ability to bring black people together. If she could fix Will and Jada and make this educational, to look at it in a type of learning, then you're able to bring black people together. Because anything dealing with our separation, our breaking, right, when it comes to integration, anything that deals with us separating from them, it shakes them up. It's dangerous. It's dangerous for them. Sister Ava represents the true aspect of the black woman, right? Her training or raising give you a complete understanding of that. A complete understanding. And so you have to understand what's going on. When a black Muslim man speaks, people will listen because it's important, and he has the backing of a foundation. If he's teaching the correct thing, if he's teaching what's correct, he has the backing of the foundation, right? The foundation of truth. But you let a sister get up and speak, she'll win both men and women automatically, because she's speaking from a mother standpoint, she's speaking from the standpoint of a dignitary, and she's speaking from the standpoint of a spiritualist that understand her emotion. This is what separates the black Muslim woman from the black Muslim man. This is the great separation. You know, and she taught a lecture about 10 months ago. They showed it on YouTube because I'm very familiar with the sister. The name of the lecture was "Black Must Separate or Die." Our sister hadn't changed. She had not changed in all of her years. All of her years, she had not changed with her speech. She had not changed with her delivery. She had not changed with her concept and of religious freedom, her concept of liberation, because to her, it was all the same. To her, these were all the same. And they were the teachings of the Most Honorable Elijah Muhammad. When you see Sister Ava and see her teaching style, you see the Muslima of the old days. You see the Muslima of the old days when you see her. And I want to try to find those so I can put it out. But these, and we're going to have to dedicate a whole show to our sister. These 2 lectures that she did was two of the most powerful lectures I've ever seen her do. And you need to study up on her, because they've always been afraid of her. She was teaching during the time that Dr. Khaled was teaching too. I mean, you had an amazing group that you could actually pull from that were going to give you the truth and set black people on the path to redeem themselves, right? We can redeem our own selves. Unearned suffering is not redemptive, brothers and sisters. Not physically. Not physically. That's the turn the other cheek type of stuff. But if we are going to be free, we can do it ourselves. But the first thing we got to do is let go of that enemy. And this is what she taught. You got to let the white man go. You got to release him, and he's got to release you. You got to make him release you so that you'll be able to grab some form of freedom. Liberation. You have to do that for yourself. You'll never get free hanging on to this white man. And that's one thing that I loved about her. That she was not under any illusion. It doesn't matter what Farrakhan taught. It just didn't matter. When she comes out, the sister tells the truth. The sister tells the truth. And that's dangerous enough. Just speaking the truth is dangerous. Now, let's get to what happened to her physically that interrupted her system of homeostasis. Poison is the most likely substance, because after the year 2000, after the year 1999, they were set on that. And the first poison that we're familiar, 1975, the Most Honorable Elijah Muhammad was poisoned with cortisone. So I have to say that certain assassinations that they used, what they were experimenting with, was poisoning the body. But that now is the the assassination of choice. That's the assassination of choice, because they poisoned the Most Honorable Elijah Muhammad by using cortisone. And that cortisone cream and the shots used together was enough to poison the system. Just one of them alone is enough to poison it. And then it began to deaden tissue. And you know what happened then? Thrombosis begins to set in, right? And also deterioration starts to follow. And you'll see that most of those people, even though they're frail, when they get that cortisone anywhere in their body, they always get extra weight in their face. Always get extra weight in their face. And that's why this cortisone is not good. It's better to have natural methods to be able to heal ourselves from the natural plants. This is why we learn natural healing, natural remedy. And there's a reason for that. And they forced the Most Honorable Elijah Muhammad to be in those conditions because the federal agents that were integrated into even his natural family, the whole purpose was to destroy the teachings of Most Honorable Elijah Muhammad, and so they had to destroy the Most Honorable Elijah Muhammad. And brothers and sisters, they were successful in that. They were successful. And they've been working little by little to get all of us out of the way. They want to get all steady Muslims out of the way. Because you don't have to worry about a Farrakhan Muslim, but you have to worry about a Muhammad Muslim. Farrakhan Muslim accept white folks. Well, I'm just being honest, brothers and sisters. I don't want to make anybody angry, but I've got to tell the truth. He himself said it, that Father Pfleger is his friend. Now, how the hell is Father Pfleger going to be your friend? And how the hell is it going to be different from any other white man when the Most Honorable Elijah Muhammad has told you that the white man is the devil? Is the devil, is the devil, is the devil. That they cannot be saved. They came out of Muhammad's own mouth. So how is a white man going to be Muhammad's devil and be your friend? It doesn't work. And you can't have somebody like Sister Ava teaching these facts. You can't have her teaching these facts, brothers and sisters. Now when you got one that is distorting the facts, she's dangerous. She's dangerous. When they'll get ready to poison her, in July, they were building up Omar Yashatelli. He was at his pinnacle. And here's a man that haven't done anything, made no contributions. He is not any threat to America. Matter of fact, he agreed with America. He's part of the African People's Socialist Movement, Uhuru, the socialist movement. Now, what African do you know that'll start his own socialist movement? He don't need a socialist movement. He don't need a socialist movement. He need a united black front. A socialist, the white man's doing. Karl Marx was a socialist. He's white. You and I look crazy going along with a white man's philosophy when he himself agreed with the system in place. Right? He just wanted powerful poor people. He wasn't talking about poor black people. He was talking about poor white people. And we look like fools. Black people look like fools in the Democratic Party. You look like fools calling yourself socialists in the Democratic Party. You just look like fools. Because the Democratic Party has yet to do anything that's going to help black people. Anything. And see, and that's the thing. We got to get wise to the evolution of the white man. He's moving as fast as he can. But he's not doing everything that he can because he's weak. The white man is weak. The system is weak. This whole thing with Russia that is going on has weakened the system of the white man. Listen, when Napoleon went to war with Toussaint Louverture, when he went to war with John Baptiste during the Haiti Revolution, this was a break in the European colonial system as we knew it. It was a complete break. So Haiti gets free in the end, and it literally kills and destroys the white power structure in a sense of globalism. So they had to redo everything. They had to redo everything and build a tighter form of colonialism. They had to. Sister Ava taught in a lecture 4 years ago, believe it was 4 years ago, separate or die. Separate. Listen, listen, listen. Separate. She taught 3 months ago, was a lecture, wasn't 3 months ago. The very first time she taught it was January the 6th, I believe it was, 2008. Very first. But then, after that, if you look say about 3 months, maybe 4 months ago, when she's on this lecture series, she taught another lecture series on us first, then them. So the first series she taught was self first, then others. That was somewhere around 2008, 2010. But then she said, because I pay very close attention to this sister because I love her so. The second one was us first, then them, but none of those topped blacks must separate or die. That was so powerful. That lecture series, Black Must Separate or Die, was one of the most powerful lectures that I've seen her release, and it's surprising in the sense that she goes so hard. She always go hard. And little sister Ava is cool, man. She's cool. She's got a coolness about her, but she went real hard on that. And it was uncompromising. And they had to do something about her. She got on this Kanye West, got on him, got on the interracial relationship, the origin of the black man, and start talking about how this is a mistake. Kanye West and Kim Kardashian. She's coming after these entertainers. When's the last time that have you ever seen black Muslim go against these entertainers? Brothers and sisters, they ain't gonna do that because they're afraid of that. They're afraid of it. They're not gonna do it. But this sister is powerful. She, the one man teaching, she retaught that. She did that 2012, the first time. I can't remember the date. I think it was December 30th. But you can research it to find out. But she was going over a lot of these. But the name of that lecture series, One Man. You know, and her purpose is to reestablish the teachings of the Most Honorable Elijah Muhammad and to set somebody on track. You don't hear me, brothers and sisters. You don't hear me. She's trying to set somebody on track. Somebody on track. And or I should use the term back on track. I should use that term. Now she mentions, I don't know if you all remember this, brother. Everybody knows Lucius Bey. Everybody knows Lucius Bey. If you're Elijah Muslim, everybody knows Lucius. If you're Elijah Muslim under Farrakhan's regime, you know Lucius. Everybody know him. But there was another brother named Supreme Minister John Muhammad who taught on history. She was very familiar with this brother because he's one of the most amazing teachers, right? One of the most amazing teachers on this history and the teaching of the white man. Sister Ava is able to draw on these amazing teachers. Another sister, the Most Honorable Elijah Muhammad's wife, able to draw on these examples because to be an Elijah Muslim, brothers and sisters, is different than being a Farrakhan Muslim. And that's the best way I can explain it. When you go to teaching this truth, like she had a lecture, your creative force and all of that, the sister was different, but she was sister among men. She was a sister among men. In tune with what's going on in the black life, but at the same time not allowing you to get to the place where you give up, where you're going into doubt. The sister is literally organized spiritually and religiously by God to pull the black man out of all of this foolishness, the black woman out of all of this foolishness, stop them from running amok, and raise them up from a dead level to a live one, a straight perpendicular line, so that they'll be able to be the picture of righteousness that will deliver our brothers and our sisters out of this muck and miry clay that we've been placed in by this white man. I believe she was poisoned. Yes, I do. Indeed. And I believe that there were sellouts that saw this through. You know, the Most Honorable Elijah Muhammad, in his teaching of Minister Malcolm, told us and won't even allow us to eat or drink from something that we didn't see prepared. These are the habits. Don't you dare eat or drink from something that you didn't see prepared with your own hands. Now, I want you to see, and I'm not trying to start anything, but I just want you to see it. I want you to see, brothers and sisters, that this sister in her teaching was alone. She was set apart, which means to be sanctified in righteousness to teach this kind of lesson. The foundations of which she come up in, seeing not just black Muslim, but black people with the same objective, Muslim and Christian. And remember, the Most Honorable Elijah Muhammad said a good Christian is a good Muslim, and a good Muslim is a good Christian. He's talking about the black man. He's not talking about the white man. He's talking about the black Christian, the black Muslim. A good Muslim is a good Christian, and a good Christian is a good Muslim. So because our objective is the same, and her coming up with this, she was able to teach a full gospel of liberation, because we all know that most people that accept, black people that are in Christianity are not living it. And most of them that say that they accept it don't really accept it because you can't see it in their lifestyle. But we know that the teaching and training of the Most Honorable Elijah Muhammad has the power to deliver and rehabilitate men and women that are down in the muck, miry clay. And while we're wading in the mud, that they're able to clean us up, and then eventually spray our feet off so that we begin to walk in holiness and walk with an attachment with the earth that God has created, and be able to wield that power to be able to save other brothers and sisters. This sister was alone. You look at Dr. Khalid Muhammad, and you have to pay attention to this. Dr. Khalid Muhammad was indeed alone. He was teaching the same thing, separation from this white man. Separation from this white man. He was teaching the very same thing. And so you have to understand what's going on. What is a white man's goal? Why does he put people in place? He's constantly chiseling at the foundation that is set. The foundation of what? The foundation of black separation, black nationalism separation. The foundation of black nationalism as a objective teaching to black people, and to destroy any black person that is teaching black nationalism. He's not going to shoot you in plain sight anymore. He's not going to do that. That'll work against him. For him to know, right, and for us to know how he operates, he's changed it up a little. So he'll start delivering anthrax. He'll start delivering everything else. He'll start delivering everything else behind closed doors, wherever he can use to get rid of people who are affected. This sister was effective. This sister was effective. She taught the law of God. She taught that we have to separate from amongst these people. She taught this. She was on a panel discussion with Brother Louis Ali. A lot of people didn't view it, but it was Project Separation. Listen, the sister was teaching separation. Now, I ask you a question. Have you ever seen Farrakhan teach separation like that? Even if he teaches it, he don't follow it because he's still around courting these white people. I say again, Father Flager is a devil. How can he be your friend and be the white man's friend too? Can't do it. This is an abnormality. And so, brothers and sisters, when you look at black nationalism is the best foundation, the best key for us to make it. Black nationalism is. You won't make it any other way, because black nationalism involves the whole man. Black nationalism is the key. Black nationalism is the objective and the goal. Why? Because you and I seek to be free. We don't want to be under this white man. Who would protect this system other than the white man and his sympathizers? Who would protect it? And you gotta see that. You have to understand it. Is that unless we break away from this system, then we'll be constantly under the strain of the system, the oppression of the system would eventually annihilate us. So when they talk about this cancer diagnosis of Sister Ava, brothers and sisters, we're going to talk about this. We certainly going to talk about it. We got to. Here she is talking separation from the white man. She's talking separation from the white man. And Farrakhan is not talking about it. Sister Ava was assassinated because she was talking liberation. So they assassinated her. It's plain as day. Plain as day. They do it through poison. They do it through cancer, which is brought on by poison. And to remove anyone, they'll do it. They will do it. They don't care. And you have to understand this. Farrakhan has been around how long? How long? I'm putting it in the notes. Sister Ava was assassinated when they're building up Omar Yeshiteli. Right? While they're building up Omar Yeshiteli, you have to pay attention to this logic. You got to. They're building him up. He has done what? Nothing. Is Farrakhan teaching separation? No. What is the identity? What are the factors with Minister Farrakhan and Omar Yeshiteli? They're befriending white people. How long have they been around? 50 plus years. All you got to do is put the stuff together. All you got to do is put it together. So they're killing our sister and building up Omar Yeshiteli, who has done nothing. His name is O'Malley Yeshiteli. But you need to see what's going on. And it's a design for the white man. He's losing power. He don't need anybody around talking about reparations. He don't need anybody around talking about a system. He don't need it. See, because he gets somebody to organize your own system, it's over for the white man. It's over for him, completely over. Completely over for him. Now, and we have to see, this is against black nationalism. I forget the article on her. But I forget the article just came. They just flashed it. But basically, I read, and I'm going to try to, matter of fact, I want to try to find this. I want to find it because this is important. This is so very important. And I mean, brothers, if you ain't seen a beautiful sister, that sister, man, had a good, she was, man, I mean, we really don't know what we've been missing. We really don't. I'm so hurt at the sisters, and I was really going to deal with it, but I'm glad the brother had the strength, because I know it's hurt a Muslim brother. Anybody that really knew the sister, even Christians, there's a lot of women that were our sister. We know. Those of us that are conscious already know that this was an assassination. We already know it. Farrakhan, he still lingers. I mean, O'Malley Yeshiteli still lingers. You have to look at this kind of stuff, brother. Look at a person's life. May the works, the old folks said, sung a song, may the work I've done speak for me. May the works that I've done speak for me. I found the article, the death. I found that. We know she's risen, though. We know that's the rise. But I found it, and I want to put it in here for you. And we want to deal with this. We want to talk about it. And this is an assassination. I mean, let's call it what it is, brothers and sisters. Can we call it what it is? This is an assassination. This is an assassination. And I want to call it what it is. Now, you're going to have some brothers and sisters who think everything is an assassination. I just got a question. Why is it that the most effective people are dying and the most ineffective people are living a long time? I don't understand that. Look, you have to find out what is connected. What is connected? Sister Ava, for all intents and purposes, was the female reflection of Dr. Khalid Abdul Muhammad. Literally the female reflection of him. Because he was going to tell the truth. He was going to give the white man hell. And he didn't care who didn't like it. He just didn't care. But our sister, when our sister passed, and I'm talking about complete, we're talking about complete understanding from our brothers and sisters that when the sister passed, the work that she's done spoke for her and would also give a reason as to why she's somebody, because she's still young. She was still young. You understand what I'm saying? But it would be plausible to show the reason why they would seek to get her out of the way. Her lecture series began to catch on. You know how it is with black people. But the women started to listen to her lecture series, and it touched the lives of black women. Literally touched the lives of black women and caused them to reorder the priority of their lives, and this massive move in the Muslim movement under Farrakhan. Now, I want to say something else that's common knowledge to Muslims. She seemed extreme in her teaching. With Muslim, we love it because we call it righteousness and truth. But Farrakhan looked like he was getting weaker in his teaching. Because the minute he started letting these white people in, then everything goes to hell. Now, the sister was diagnosed in 1983. I believe it was 1983, but it was in the 80s with this breast cancer. They only gave her a certain amount of time to live then. But my thing is this, brothers and sisters. This is what I'm saying. But I believe it was 1983. Now I want you to look. 1983, Farrakhan is making this change, where he admits that one day white people will be allowed to come in the Nation of Islam. Sister Ava at that time is teaching separation from the white man. Still teaching the same thing she started out with. She was an Elijah Muslim. If you look at Sister Ava, she was still very, very attractive, still a very spiritual sister, still very strong. She had not lost anyone. Sister Ava, her husband, Brother Terrence. If you're Elijah Muslim, you understand what I'm saying. A powerful force. Powerful force. She was a successful lawyer at 28 years of age. She was a professional speaker and a what they call a builder, a religious builder of people earlier on in life. She was thankful for the nationalist movement as much as she was the civil rights movement. So she saw a unity and objective of people like Stokely Carmichael and Dr. King. Because in 1967, they did have the same objective. But Stokely, she leaned more towards Stokely because he was somebody in their age group that they could identify with. Remember I told you the foundation that was set and her spreading the ministry as an aggressive form of reformation with black people. And so tomorrow at 7, we're going to be discussing Sister Ava Muhammad, the assassination. That's what we're going to call it. The assassination of Sister Ava Muhammad. Brothers and sisters, we have to have, and it's amazing that this whole lineup, we're honored to teach this prophetic lesson toward our title, Black Nationalist Separation Summit. We've got to separate, brothers and sisters, from these devils and their demons. Separate and reach for freedom through separation. We got to reach for freedom. And we got to be able to fulfill the philosophy of freedom. We're going to be talking about our sister tomorrow at 7 to give her justice and to go in depth, and give in-depth teaching. But I'm brothers and sisters, I tell you, I feel it in my chest and my head. Our sister, brothers and sisters. I mean, we have to fight, brothers and sisters. We gotta fight. Gotta be strong. Our sister was a warrior for the people. That's a legacy. We gotta fight. So that our generation can see it, see this truth, see deliverance, and see truth and see deliverance in our lifetime. Our children, brothers and sisters, should be able to talk about the revolutionary freedom that we bought, what we fought for. They should be able to see it. In our lifetime, we'll get it. But we're going to have to fight. We're going to have to shed blood. The white man is not going to allow us to separate. He's not even going to allow us. I want you to hear this. He's not going to allow us to separate without violence, because he's violent. He's violent. He's not going to allow us to have it. He's not going to allow us to have it. You got to understand that. If you don't understand anything else, you got to understand that. His job is to cause us hell in this hell called North America. That's his job. Our job is to talk freedom. Our job is to talk justice. Our job is to talk liberation and black equality. Not for the white man. This message is for the black man. Not the white man. This message is for the black man. So brothers and sisters, with a heavy heart, we talk about our sister. It's with a heavy heart. And yes, I do believe that she was poisoned. And we will be talking about that. They're trying to get all the nationalists out of the way. They're building up Omar Yeshiteli, but at the same time, our sister is dying or being killed. Our sister is dying or being killed, and they're raising up Omar Yeshiteli. You got to think about that. Brothers and sisters, I want to thank you for coming on the show and watching. Please, brothers and sisters, I ask for your support as we put out the truth. But the truth is something that we have to put out. And those that are helping, I'm not talking to you. I'm asking those that haven't done anything, please do it. Please do, brothers and sisters. We had a brother that took the weight to donate what we were asking for the last time. And that brother did it on his own. We want you to bless us and help us. We can't do it on our own. We have to get in Atlanta. We still plan to go to Detroit. We didn't get a chance to make it because we didn't have the funds. We're asking you to donate so that we can get to Atlanta, and we'll get to Atlanta and build a support system where we don't have to be laying on the people, but build a support system, and those little helps or whatever that they could give to set up monthly payments or whatever, we'll be able to reach and start headquarters in different states where we can begin to control and take over these states. We have to separate within our own areas, black people, and get away from the white people and build up our own forces, build up our own community, and all of that. Don't forget Nicodemus, Kansas, too. We're going to talk about that and how we can build up that town, tiny houses, tiny stores, and all of that, so that we can get things started right away. We can convert those storage units into tiny houses and all of that. We can do all of that for our people and create a city that we're able to help our people. So brothers and sisters, that's all I have for you today. Please support our Cash App. Please buy a book. You see it in the support link at the top. Brothers and sisters, I appreciate everything that you do. If I didn't say it in the beginning, I say it now. Peace be unto you. Assalamu alaikum.